tonight's show, I have RCA recording star Earl Thomas Conley with me. Let's make welcome Earl. How do you do, sir?
Hi, folks.
How do you do? Okay, Earl, welcome to Southern Country Video. Let me see. Where was your first public appearance?
A place called the Palace Theater in Portsmouth, Ohio, where I was raised up.
That was the first. How old were you when you came out in public for the first time?
Probably about 24, 25, I guess. That's a while back.
Would you consider that, there too, would you consider that your first break in the business?
No. No, I worked with my aunt and uncle in a little gospel group. The three of us went around and sang with a cappella with no instrumentation for about 3 years, and then it was so much fun I decided to go ahead and get serious about it.
And then after that,
but I've always liked country music.
I was just going to say, you've always sang country.
Yeah. I've listened and been influenced by a lot of people.
That's my next question. Who was your influence?
Hank Williams was probably the biggest and the longest lasting. Still today, I'm amazed at his
he's one of the giants.
Staying power.
Right.
Him and Jimmy Martin and
bluegrass.
Bill Monroe. Yeah,
you're talking bluegrass now.
Yeah. See, my father was he played by ear, banjo and acoustic guitar and a little bit of organ, piano and stuff, just to entertain himself. But we didn't have much to do. I lived way back in the sticks, in the holler. And every Saturday night, my uncle come down. He had a car, so these my dad and him would get out there and they'd drink, you know, and listen to the Grand Ole Opry.
That was it.
So that was my only chance to hang around with my dad.
And that was all country.
So it's had a long-lasting effect upon me.
Did you ever work with any other bands before ETC?
Yeah, we had. My goodness, I left. I wrote and started writing in 1968, and worked in a steel mill there in Portsmouth for a couple of years and commuted back and forth. And I couldn't get anything going in Nashville, so I moved to Huntsville, Alabama, and we put our first band together down there, and worked. One of the boys that played saxophone in the band was a guy by the name of Dennis Robertson, who's the nephew of Curly Putnam. Wrote Green Green Grass at Home.
Oh, that's a country classic.
Yeah, a lot of big hits. Still writing good hits for a lot of people. But I did that for about 3 years, and I wrote a song called Smoky Mountain Memories and moved up to Nashville then.
That was a hit for you. That came.
Well, no, it was a hit for Mel Street.
Smoky Mountain Memories. I was thinking of, what was the one? Fire and Smoke.
Fire and Smoke.
That's the one I was thinking. Smoky Mountain Memories, Mel Street. Sure.
Yeah.
Did you first reach public attention by writing or singing?
Writing.
Writing was your way into the business?
Yeah, I had that song with Mel Street, and Bobby G. Rice cut a couple of tunes, and then Conway cut a song of mine.
Which one was
called
that?
This Time I Heard Her More Than She Loves Me, and that happened in '76, I guess it was. Then I was able to afford to quit worrying so much and do a lot more writing, so I started writing for myself then, because I had delved in becoming a recording artist, but I hadn't had much success. I think, as a matter of fact, I Have Loved You Girl, a song that went to #1 in 2 of the trades and then 2 in 1 of the trades a few years back, had been put out in 1975, and it went to 97 with an anchor. It didn't do anything. But later on, 10 years later, it turned out to be quite successful. But at that particular time, I was just learning and trying to develop my own vocal style and everything, and the way I did it eventually was to write my way into it.
Do you write from personal experiences?
Well, I'm sure they are. A lot of them are, but they're not about any one story. I mean, one song is not one adventure that I lived out, because you borrow from your emotions and feelings and past experiences from all of your past, you know, when I write.
Do you have tidbits of papers laying around saying,
yeah, but
this is the beginning of a song?
Tidbits in here, see.
That's where most of the tidbits are?
Shocks and all kinds of things that you'll come up with a line that'll key off another emotion that you went through when you was a kid even. So you write from all your experiences, or I do. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not one of these people that sit down in the bar and write on a brown paper sack a hit song. I've never done that yet.
How long did it take you to write that song?
Well, Fire and Smoke, it was written, the bridge to it, the chorus to it was written, let's see, 2 years prior to me coming up with some. Matter of fact, I had the chorus to it written when I was still living in Huntsville, and then after I had Smoky Mountain Memories and came to Nashville and everything, I came up with the verses for it. So that you never know; those things are unpredictable, and they're better off to stay that way.
Did you write Heavenly Bodies?
No, a couple of middle-aged school teacher ladies from New York, as a matter of fact.
I saw the video for that.
Over around Long Island.
That was a hit for you. A couple of years back. That was
we do that on the outdoor concerts.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Is there a song with most meaning that you wrote? Which song?
Well, I think probably the most uplifting probably has been one that we had a video out on, but we didn't have out as a single, and it was a song called "Crowd Around the Corner," a song I wrote for my grandfather.
Has your writing changed over the years? You've been writing what, about 14 years, since 15, 16?
No, I've been writing for about 20 years.
20
now.
years.
Yeah.
Has the music you've written in the past changed from what you're writing today? Due to the change in the country music sound?
It's changed extremely because I've got a lot more experience. You change from song to song anyway. But you don't want to do the same song you just did or anything close to it.
I mean, you've 20 years. Country music sounded different 20 years ago. As it does today.
Well, yes.
Now, your writing must have adapted to the new sound.
Oh yeah, it does that too. But I'll go back there once in a while and write a song that's totally traditional. That's really, really, really country. Hard country, traditional country.
Right.
And. Some of the albums that I've got out.
What's define progressive country? I read that in your bio.
I would say I call my music contemporary country. Progressive country is probably pushing experimentation to its limits. Maybe that's progressive country. I'm not sure what that's. I really don't live by terms because that limits you when it comes to creativity. And if you have to sit and write a waltz every time you write, well, you're going to run out of waltz melodies and things to say.
That's true.
With that attitude. But so because I write I'll write one song, maybe a waltz, and I'll turn around and write something that's real up tempo so that it'll be fresh to me because. One thing I've never been accused of, and I hope I never am, is being boring.
No,
I don't want to be boring.
Your show was good. I
don't want to be boring. I might go over the line a little bit too far in any direction, but that's all right because, it's me, and it's my life and my music, and those usually the songs that are over the line are imposed on the right people. What type the ones that accept it.
What type of person takes to write a song? You have to be a special person to write a song.
You have to be a creative person. You have to develop a trust for yourself. I was always a creative kid. When I was ever since I can remember, we didn't have no toys, so I sat around and whittle boats and stuff out of wood. My dad had a whole old corn knife laying up in the woodshed and everything. He didn't let me get in there, but when he'd go to work, I'd sneak out there, get that knife out and
shave a piece of wood down.
Yeah, and trade them boats then for real toys.
I read that. I read that already.
So we entertained ourselves like that. Me and my brothers and sisters had stick horses. We had everything. We lived way back in the hills, and we did all kinds of things like that were creative that you could do to entertain yourself.
You're a painter.
That happened right off the bat.
You're a painter also.
Yeah, I got into painting, and of course that carving boats, I guess you could call sculpting to a certain degree. I painted and drew pictures all my life along with this other stuff. But songwriting is like melody and words, but it's all a picture. It's just a moving the audio end of visualization.
The reason I asked that question is there's a sentence in your bio that said there's an awful lot of magic that has to happen as far as being able to create songs.
Yeah. Well, anything that's creative, that's a successful product, it takes an awful lot of devotion to it and focus. You got to want to do it, and you got to believe in yourself once you're in the process of doing it, and you got to be able to make a decision and saying, this is something that I like and that I would not be embarrassed to play for you or show you. Right. And then there's
be proud of your work. In between Earl Thomas Conley, the songwriter, and Earl Thomas Conley, the performer.
Well,
you concentrate on.
I'm learning how to put both those people together, The performer is something that I'm learning how to be. The songwriter is an introverted person that searches out through his feelings and his emotions and stuff and comes up with ways in which to convey his message to the world. The performer is the person who has to deliver the message to the world. So he has to learn how to be an extrovert, he or she. And so that's one thing, that the more comfortable you become with what your product that you're dealing with, the easier it is for you to say, wow, folks, watch me, I'm going to do this. I have something to say to you. Huh?
Is it easier for you to sing your own songs on stage than somebody else's?
No, it doesn't bother me to do whatever I do, because I don't record songs I don't believe in. And I believe that I can pull them off just as easy as I can the songs that I write myself. There's an awful lot of people, there's an awful lot of writers that can't write for me, or I haven't cut any of their material, and it's because that I have my own way of doing things, and I can't help it. It's because of a handicap, probably, rather than because I'm not a great instrumentalist. I think, and I'm pretty good at poetry and stuff like that, and I know enough chords and I know enough music to do what I do, but it's different, and I'm glad it is. I think I'm really happy with what I do. But more and more every day, people are getting into the way I've done things and do things. And just like on this new album that's coming out the 27th of this month, it's called The Heart of It All. I co-wrote 2 songs on there with Randy Scruggs, and co-wrote one with Robert Byrne, who wrote Once in a Blue Moon. That was a close one, and Can't Win for Losing You. Wrote quite a few songs for me. But I only got 3 songs on this album, and actually 2, because the compact disc is going to have 10, and then the disc, the record, the album, and the tape is only going to have 9 on it. The songs that I've got a lot more writers, in other words, that's been interested in my style and stuff, and that are pitching me. See, when you first start out, the writers all give all their hits to the people that are making hits.
Sure they are. Oh, yeah.
And it's hard. You got to really develop a matter of respect in their eyes, or they're not going to give you the hits. So you got to have a few yourself before you get these good songs. But I always said to myself, if I can't write better songs than people are pitching me, then that's when I'm going to start cutting everybody's songs that are better than mine.
Let's talk about Earl Thomas Conley, the singer, now. Career highlights. There was 2 of them. You remember what they were?
One of them was to work with Anita Pointer.
I did
a duet too many times with her.
How many albums do you have out?
Gosh. Sad Blue Pearl, Fire and Smoke, Somewhere Between Right and Wrong, Treading Water, Greatest Hits, Too Many Times. I mean, I don't know, about 5 or six
albums.
Don't make it easy for me. Oh, that's my biggest one.
You had 4 #1 hits.
Get off of that album. Don't make it easy for me.
Let's bring that in. Sure. That's
Chance of
definitely
Loving
worth talking about.
Chance of Loving You, Holding Her and Loving You. God, let's mess this up now. Don't Make It Easy for Me. There's some good ones.
There's some good ones.
I can't remember what they were.
How about the awards? Have you?
Never won any awards.
I was up for
a Grammy the first time on Holding Her and Loving You. And
nominations.
I've got the Billboard Single of the Year and the Cashbox Single of the Year before, but I've never won any, not like the
Songwriter Awards.
No.
Okay.
No. I'll get one
of these days. What's ahead for ETC? Has ETC?
Well, I'm so excited about this new album I got out, man. This is the best album I've had, and we're using 2 new producers. Nelson Larkin did. Him and I worked on all the other ones for 15 years. We worked together, and both of us decided that we should kind of just. We're still involved musically together, but not production-wise, and we decided we'd just. You get in a rut if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So we tried some new people, Emery Gordy Jr. and Randy Scruggs and myself. Then we did this new album, but it's I don't know. I think it's more mature or something. It's more simple, less contrived. I'll just have to let the public decide. But boy, the first single is looking real good.
Yeah.
What She Is a Woman in Love. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I ran out of questions, Earl.
Herb, nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Thank you very much for being on Southern Country Video.
Pleasure.
That wraps it up, folks.